Hi, everybody. This is Rob.
And Katie.
Welcome into
Lovin' Disney.
All right. Thanks for joining us on the podcast. We're going to open up with some Mickey Bits. Katie, take it away.
Hey, we haven't got a whole lot of Mickey Bits, but a little bit to share. First off, and fun, we had a little baby hippo born, and also a cute baby gorilla was born this week. So, new babies to see. Right now, they'll keep them pretty protected and let the mamas bond with their babies, but won't be too long. They'll be out and about for us to enjoy.
Didn't the last time we were there, wasn't there also a baby gorilla?
He was more adolescent. He wasn't super tiny. It was out and about, and again, it wasn't the last time.
Well,
it was a baby giraffe last time.
Because I thought there was one time, maybe it wasn't the last visit, but maybe a couple visits ago where there was a baby gorilla. It was hanging out with the mama.
It was hanging with mama right at the glass. And when Leah went through, I have video of it, the baby gorilla was actually back and forth with Leah on the glass.
All I can say is, them gorillas are getting it on.
Stop it. He was reacting with Leah on the glass, and the mama just kind of looked over her shoulder and didn't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
Just let him play, and it was so cute. So I enjoyed that moment. We always look back in there to see if there's one there every time.
When we went one time, baby tigers when they were born. Remember that?
They were twin cubs. They were two cubs.
So we were able to see that one time. And then the last time was a baby giraffe, you said earlier. Mm-hmm. And now they got a baby hippo.
And we've seen a baby hippo before.
And a baby elephant.
There was a hippo last time when we went. We took that train to where they do the surgeries and stuff.
Right. And
one of the hippos, they were still contained. It hadn't been set loose.
Oh, that's right.
And it came trucking over to the fence as the train went by, as if it knew. And everyone was like,
it
ooh,
knew you were there. It knew Katie was
It knew
coming.
I was there. I know. It came over to say hi just to me.
You know they're dangerous, right? Hippos kill people.
Stop it. Stop it.
So, all right. So we got baby animals at Walt Disney World. So welcome baby animals to Walt Disney World.
To cuteness overload.
So,
love it.
Something to look forward to when you go.
Yeah, make sure to do the gorilla walk so you might be able to see the little ones.
Never done that before. It's worth doing.
Hopefully by the time we go in November, the little baby hippo will be out swimming with mama.
When you're walking through the bird area, you might get pooped on. That's always a fun thing.
You know, you're just Mr. Positivity, aren't you?
There's a lot of birds flying around in there. You gotta have to watch it.
Don't look up with your mouth open.
If you do get pooped on, it's a little something extra.
Maybe it might be Mickey shaped.
Little Disney magic.
Disney magic. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, hidden Mickey on your head.
Hidden Mickey on your shirt or head.
All right, enough poop talk.
Okay,
so what else you got, Katie?
So they also talked about how the extra magic hours are changing. And the way that we used to know them, they're kind of gone. And they said that it's kind of getting reinvented. So in the Disney resorts, including the Disney Swan and Dolphin, they are going to give you an extra 30 minutes in the morning so you can get in ahead of the crowds, 30 minutes ahead. And then they're going to give you some time after. It didn't dictate in the article I was reading how much time after, but there is extra magic hours on certain evenings at the parks also.
Well, they weren't like real long before. It was only a couple hours more, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know if it was that, but
I mean,
yeah, but it was always a certain park. Like you'd say, extra magic hours at Magic Kingdom, staying open till midnight.
But it's only for people staying at resorts.
At the resorts, and you have
Swan
to
and Dolphin, obviously, they're not Disney resorts, but they're on property.
They listed them as Disney's Swan and Dolphin.
Well, I know, but I think they're kind of separate, kind of.
But they're inclusive
in the extra magic hour kind of thing.
Correct.
Okay.
And the kicker on this, it was always kind of easier before. If you have an extra magic hour somewhere, you could just switch around your park days and go to that one instead. Well, now with the park reservation system, people are making reservations for parks way in advance before they even know what parks are going to have extra magic hours. And you have to have a park ticket and reservation for that day, for that park, to be able to attend, to get the extra magic.
Now, I got a question, and maybe we've talked about this before, but let's say you're not staying at a Disney resort and the extra magic hours kick in. How do they know that you're not staying at a resort? Because it's not like an after-hours party where you have a lanyard around your neck.
You don't have a lanyard, but at a certain time they ask everybody to exit the park. And anybody who is staying, they said in that article, you will need to make sure you have ID on you showing where you're staying to be able to gain those I've
never had anybody ask me before. But I wonder if you click into a ride, if it probably shows where
probably
you're
won't
staying.
let you ride.
Yeah, probably on your Magic Band, if it'll probably show up.
Yeah. I know when we did the after-hour parties, it was on my band. You couldn't get into a ride after hours if you weren't scheduled to be there.
I wouldn't put it past them. They probably know, obviously.
They know where you are at every minute of the day.
Disney knows everything about you.
Stop it. Don't make it creepy. And we'll be seeing the end pretty soon of the fireworks display that has been going on for years, which I enjoy.
What's it called again?
Happily Ever After.
Okay.
Which I enjoy. There's supposed to be a new one starting up soon.
Boy, that one didn't last very long.
Well, they usually only go a few years. We just missed a whole year and a half of fireworks.
I thought Wishes was around longer than that, but we did miss a whole year because of the COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I liked Happily Ever After. I like the song and it goes well with the fireworks. So.
Well, they always do a good job.
It'll be interesting to see what's next.
Yeah. What else you got? Anything else?
The gingerbread houses are back for the holidays, which I'm excited about.
They didn't have that last year.
They didn't have it last year, which it was our very first Christmas trip last time.
Which resorts do they do that at? The Grand Floridian, they usually put a big one up in there,
They do. There's actually a lot of the resorts do some gingerbread in them. And I didn't know that. I thought it was just the Floridian, but there's several that do them.
I think you could walk into one of them.
And they're themed towards their resort. But I think the Floridian does the largest one. And then they have some in the others. And then they have some other Christmas decorations that are back that they didn't get to do last time. So I'm excited to get a little more of the Christmas experience than we did last time.
Yeah, I remember watching a show on Disney Plus where they transferred the park from normal to Christmas, and Whoopi Goldberg was the thing. Anyways, but they showed the gingerbread house, and that was pretty cool. She went in there and talked to the people about it and stuff. So that's something we haven't seen yet, and that'd be kind of cool. We'll be there.
I like the smell of gingerbread. I like to eat gingerbread. So that'll be fun.
There's one thing that you forgot.
Oh, there's another thing too.
Happy birthday, Disneyland.
Did I say I was done?
Oh. I didn't say that.
No, we do want to wish Disneyland a very, very happy 66th birthday.
Man, Disneyland's old.
It's older than you. We'll give it that.
A little bit.
Also, a tip for those out there on that cookie shop, that super popular cookie shop in downtown Disney, and now the name just eluded me because you teased me.
The eluded cookie shop. Downtown Disney or Disney Springs?
It's in Disney Springs, and they tell you when you first get to Disney Springs, I need to Google that up. When you first get to Disney Springs, to go straight there, and they actually will give you a return time.
So this is a new shop that's always going to be there, or is this a holiday thing?
It's a famous cookie shop that kind of reminds me of like something out of Harry Potter, kind of the way that it's set up. And it's always there, but it is super hard, and people wait for hours to get in there to get a cookie. So
for a cookie?
I'm not kidding. Yeah. So what they tell you, instead of standing in line, if you go up there and get a return time, go do your shopping, and they'll text you when it's your return time, and then you can go in and within 10-15 minutes and get a cookie. So you have to get a boarding
pass for a cookie shop?
Basically. But these are supposed to be like super amazing cookies. They are not gluten-free. However, just so the Gluten-Free Network know that, there is a special shop in Disney Springs that is set up for gluten-free bakery. And it's supposed to be really, really good for
But it's a whole different place.
It's a whole different place.
Okay.
This one, I'll get you the name. I just had it and lost it. But
I just had it and lost it. Cookie shop.
Gideon's. I think it's Gideon's. I think that's it.
Gideon's Cookie Shop. Okay.
But the cookies get nothing but rave reviews. They're big, huge cookies.
They got frosting on them and stuff like that.
They're all different crazy flavors and themes.
Are they, well, I'm sure they'll decorate them to whatever time of the year it is.
Oh, I'm sure. But
Obviously.
there's lots of crazy flavors. That's the biggest thing. They're big cookies, lots of
If
flavors.
you're a cookie fan, go check out the
Gideon's
Cookie Shop. You sure that's the name?
I'm pretty sure. And you check it. If I'm wrong, don't hate me.
We're semi-professionals here.
We're still learning. It's all good.
We're just normal
but anyway,
people.
get your pass, walk away, and come back at a reasonable time instead of wasting your time just standing there.
All right. Okay. Is that all you got?
For now.
That's it for this time around?
Yeah.
Okay. Happy birthday, Disneyland. And try all the cookie shop and all that other stuff. And guess what? Enjoy this episode.
Enjoy this episode. We have an adventure for you.
Well, no, not on this one. This is just on this episode. Kurt, Jacob, and I talk about Disney memories and our worst Disney memory, best Disney memory. We do have some special stuff coming up.
Okay.
Extreme Disney rides.
That sounds like fun.
Extreme Disney. Yeah, we got some Extreme Disney coming up. We're working on, so stay tuned for that. That should be happening soon. And we'll hope you enjoy that. But for now, enjoy me, Kurt, and Jacob talk about our favorite Disney and our worst Disney.
And may it spark some memories of your own.
Yeah. Enjoy. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi, everybody. This is Rob from Live and Love in Disney, and I'm here with Kurt and Jacob tonight, and we're just going to talk Disney tonight. Could be good, could be bad, but it might be interesting. So, hi, guys. How's it going?
Live it.
Word. No, so we were talking earlier about Disney memories and stuff, and so Jacob kind of brought up a topic of, there's good and sometimes bad Disney memories. So let's talk about that a little bit, because that is true. I mean, we'd like to sit and talk about Disney on the podcast and everything, but we always try to keep it real positive. And I'm not saying we should be negative about it, but we could be honest about it. So I think that's what the discussion that we're going to have. I don't know how long the discussion will go, but I think that would be an interesting discussion to have. So which one do you guys want to start off this thing?
Maybe we could what do you think? Maybe we could do just a good memory and then a bad memory.
Okay, I don't know, or whatever pops in your head. Hey, Jacob, so you kind of had something going on there before we hit the record button. Why don't you continue on?
Yeah, like you were saying, Dad. I think the bad memories can sometimes be really relatable because we love going to Disney, but what about the part where your kids are screaming and they're fighting and they want the $100 thing at the gift shop? Like, I mean, that's the reality, and it's kind of humorous,
Disney's
really
set up for that. I mean, you get off a ride and you go right into a gift shop, and as a parent, you're like, crap. I'm going to go through this gift shop. Every one of my kids going to hit me up for something while I'm walking through this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So, I was just going to say, we went, it was the last time we went. And it was actually, I think, the only time that we've been as a whole family. I had just started my freshman year. Like, we started school. 2 weeks later, we were going on, 10-day trip to California. And I remember I was 14, and as a kid, I was a little bit of a punk. My family knows this. I had a little temper thing going on, and I remember that when we were eating out of the
ice chest,
like the ice chest and stuff, because when there's 9 kids plus a foreign exchange student, there's 10 people.
Wait, Jacob, you just turned off
your audio.
Okay.
Oh, you hear me?
Continue what you said. You said open the ice chest.
There's 9 of us. There's 9 of us. There's a foreign exchange student as well. There's 10 kids,
Right.
Like, I get it. We got to eat up So one of the only times, I don't know if we did even more than this, but one of the only times we ate out, we went to Rainforest Cafe. And I don't even want to think about what the bill was at this freaking place, you know, looking back at it as a parent, you know, thinking about it like that, like, holy crap. And I remember Aaliyah was really little, and I got like a root beer or something, and it was, you know, a cool glass bottle, and it was probably like $5 or whatever. And, you know, she was like 2 or 3 at the time. She knocks it over, and it spills all over the place. And, you know, I'm like, I freaked out. And then, I just lost my temper. And then, you know, somebody's like, she's a little girl. And I'm like, you know, I just got upset. I remember.
Yeah,
and I stormed out of the place.
Discipline her right then and there at the table, I think.
Yeah.
But you got all jacked up and you took off.
I was like, she always just could do whatever she wants. And, you know, she could just do whatever she wants. And you guys just say it's fine and it's not fine. She needs to learn or whatever. And, and then I just stormed out of the place. And I remember I was just walking. This was downtown Disney. I was just walking downtown Disney by myself and really upset. And I remember after you guys finished dinner, you guys were looking for me, and I was kind of hiding in the crowds. I remember watching people go past me, Jacob, and just like, you know, hiding in the crowds.
I was looking for you. I'm like, you're never going to find him out here. There's like people all over the place. For sure.
Right. So that's just, I remember that Disney memory. That was the first thing that came to my mind because, I look back and I'm just like, dang.
Did that take a little bit?
I'm bummed I did that, honestly, you know?
Did that take, I mean, I don't remember how far into the trip we were at that point, but did it kind of put a damper on things for just a bit? I mean, or was it just that night and you were over it?
Yeah. I think we still had a few days left, and I think especially that, you know, that night and the next day was kind of, you know, I was upset and all that, but, you know, lingering too long. I remember when we eventually came back home to Oregon, you know, I sat down with you and with Kathleen, and we all had a chat about it, and I formally apologized, and it was a good little tender moment. Actually, I think that was one of the turning points for me in my little attitude, especially towards you guys, because I remember after that, I you know, because I would have my little snarky comments and stuff as a kid. And I remember after that experience, we talked about it. And I remember Kathleen, you know, saying like, hey, we love you. We just, you know, we just want to have a good relationship. We don't, you know, all this stuff. And I remember from then on, my attitude really got better. But yeah, that was the first memory that came to mind. And, you know, sometimes those bad memories stick out, unfortunately, you know, but that's
it happens though. I mean, you go to Disneyland. I mean, you're going to have, as a parent, man, you can't help it. Your kid's having a meltdown at some point. I mean, you were older, but as a little kid, like the age that Aaliyah was,
10 days.
I don't remember Aaliyah having a meltdown there on that trip, but a lot of times they're so overstimulated, you know. And when your kid starts having a meltdown, it kind of sucks. You know, I just remember having to carry her, you know, all the way downtown Disney back to the hotel and stuff. That's always a joy. There's no joy in it. But I mean, it's still fun to take your little kids to Disney, and you know, because they're all excited and everything. So, anyways,
yeah. I mean, I have only one memory when I was a little kid being in Disneyland. And that was everyone was going on Splash Mountain. I screamed bloody murder because there's no way I was going to drop down that drop in Splash Mountain. And Uncle Steve, who, you know, for listeners and stuff, he just passed away a month and a half ago or something like that. He took me to Country Bears. He took me and he removed me from that scary Splash Mountain place. And I just remember sitting in Country Bears, and these bears are floating from the ceilings and singing, and I just said, okay, I'm in heaven. My Uncle Steve is my savior.
That's cool. You have that memory, though, with them. How about you, Kurt?
Yeah.
Okay, so just, let's see. The last time I went to, the only time I went to Disney World with you, Dad, and Kathleen, and Leah, and we had a foreign exchange student with us. There's always a foreign exchange student.
It was Fiona.
Disney Yeah, Disney
Fiona was with us that
World
trip.
would have been Fiona.
Yeah.
So here's a bad memory. I was just feeling a little. I was feeling really overwhelmed. There's a lot of people. I think we're in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
And
we were.
Yeah,
I
do you
think we
remember
were in
this?
in
And-
Splash Mountain's line too. I think.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember exactly when it was because I think it was a little bit after I finally figured out I was diagnosed with OCD, and so I was taking my medication. Yeah, I remember I was taking my medication. And for some reason, there was this one part of the day. I think you guys went off and did something, and then I was just kind of by myself. And there was all these throngs of people that's going in and out. And I had a huge fear, not just of like other people's kids, but just like huge amounts of people, because I was just scared that like something bad would happen if I was like really close to them. And so I was just, when people were really close to me, I was just kind of freaking out and had to go to the they have like this little medical bay. I didn't even know that.
First aid station. Was it by the Crystal Palace?
I think so, yeah. And I go in and I was like freaking out in my mind, and I just couldn't take it. And so they saw that I was starting to cry and stuff. So then they put me in a little room, gave me some water, and I just kind of cried and just kind of chilled out. And then I felt a little better. So I took a little kind of nap.
We didn't know this was going on. I mean,
yeah.
I think we were at Splash Mountain. I think you told us that you wanted to go find somewhere to sit or something and draw, because I think you had your drawing tablet at the time.
Yeah.
And so you took off to do whatever, and then this all happened while we were on a ride or something. You told it to us later on, but so
yeah. It would have been
Disneyland. You don't realize that, people that it could be a really overwhelming place,
Mm-hmm.
Really stimulating. You need a good balance of relaxing and
Kurt was older. I mean, he was in his 20s. I mean, but
Yeah.
usually you find that with smaller children, because there's just so much going on, and you get tired and stuff, so.
It was not a good experience that day, but it was on Disney World, Magic Kingdom. But that's I guess a bad memory. Good memory. I'm going to throw this in there. I remember one of the first times I went to Peter Pan's flight, and I think it was a time where I didn't have my glasses yet, but I could still kind of see, but it was still a little blurry, like everything. And I remember I was looking down, and there's that one spot that you're going across. It looks like you're going across like London,
Right.
There's all those like little streets, and I thought I was thousands of feet in the air. I was like, what the flip? It's like little lights,
you can fly.
all these little houses. I was like, holy crap! But that's the funny thing. Like, think about it. You just imagine that you're up in the air that far down. You're looking down, and you're like, I am this far. Like, really, I'm this high up. That's how
it is pretty cool looking, though.
Yeah, it was like
That's
amazing.
funny.
I couldn't believe it.
I mean, you had to be. How old were you, Kurt?
I was not.
Were you like 5 years old or something?
Something like that.
He's like, I was 27.
It was just last week, Dad.
I lost my glasses. It was amazing.
but
I like to look at that.
They are really getting good at those little lights, I swear.
That's one of my favorite rides. That was one of my favorite rides as a kid. I still like it because of that. I think they did a good job with that.
Yeah, I just love that. That's like I guess good memories. What's up, Jacob? Sorry.
I just had another memory just come to my mind. I think one of the funniest, if not probably the funniest moment when we were there, when I was 14, Tower of Terror.
Yeah. Well, what part of it?
This is famous. We were riding Terror. I think it was probably the first time we were riding. We were in California Adventure. It was the first time we were riding the ride in the time that we were there. And Josh, who is just a year younger,
Jacob, you're gonna throw this out.
I'm sitting next to Josh on this ride,
All right.
I'm actually pretty scared out of my mind too, because I haven't been on the ride. I don't know how it's gonna, but we're going. It's starting to take us up and up and up. And I look over at Josh. His
we have a picture of this.
He's white knuckling.
Let's share this. Let's share this in Live and Love Disney Facebook page. Let's show this picture. Anyway,
do you have a picture of it, Kurt?
Yeah,
I think we do.
Okay, everybody, look at
capture the moment better. It was incredible. I think it's on Facebook somewhere.
Yeah.
So Josh is white knuckling this thing, that the handrail in front of me. He's squinting his eyes, and I mean, he is praying to God Almighty for angels to come in and save him. He's white knuckling thing, and I'm looking over at him, and I can't breathe because I'm laughing so hard at his reaction. And even the whole time we're dropping, I just can't take my eyes off of him. So there's this great picture of Josh holding onto the bar and going, and me looking over at him, going like, okay. Like just laughing hysterically. So that was just so stinking funny. There's a picture somewhere, and we'll have to share it. That made me crack up.
That's funny.
And I didn't appreciate that ride until later when I actually started watching, when I was in junior
Twilight
school,
Zone.
and I actually started watching Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah.
I got really into Twilight Zone. Oh dang, I need to go back, but now it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
But they have it at Disney World. Still Twilight Zone at Disney World.
It's still Twilight Zone at Disney World.
Yeah, they say it's the better of the. It's a little bigger. They got a little more to it there than the Disneyland version. So
okay.
Yeah.
See,
so
I'm sure if I go
out sometime.
If I go
there Sunday.
I bet I would notice all the little details, from episodes or whatever. If I went now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. What about you, Dad? What are some bad memories and some good ones that come up?
Honestly, I have to say, I don't really have a lot of bad memories about any time I've gone to Disneyland or Disney World, except when Grandma, Kathleen's mom, went with us to Disney World and tripped on the sidewalk and face planted into the sidewalk on the second day.
Oh my gosh.
And she had to stay in the room the whole time, and she had to go to the hospital. She had a broken orbital bone and everything. It was terrible, man. Grandpa John had just passed away, and he really told her, you go to Disney World with Rob and Katie. You need to go out, enjoy some time with them. And so they had set some money aside for her to do that. And so we were really looking forward to having her there with us and stuff. And then on the second day, I think we just gone to Epcot, and we were coming back on the bus, just got off the bus at Port Orleans Riverside, and we were going to go into the cafeteria and have something to eat. And you know how the earthquakes kind of push up the sidewalks and stuff. She must have caught her. She was walking right beside me, just a little bit back from me. And all of a sudden, she tripped on this curb, and all I heard was a smack. And I turned around. I'm like, oh, beep. And it's like she didn't even try to, catch herself, but it was terrible, man. It was just terrible. So that's probably the worst thing ever at Disney. She looked like she got in a fight with a professional boxer. In fact, I was kidding around with her the whole time. I think I even sent pictures to maybe one of you guys or all of you guys of her once her face kind of got black and blue and stuff, and kind of cracked a joke and stuff, trying to make light of things because it kind of sucked. But she was stuck in the room the whole time, and then after a while we were able to take her on a wheelchair and get her to go out to dinner with us. But that really blew chunks. Really, that was a terrible experience, and really it put a damper on the whole trip because I had to stay with her Kathleen obviously had to go to the hospital with her and stuff, and then I had to push her around in a wheelchair, which, you know, I loved her and everything, but she's no longer with us. She passed away, but for those that don't know. But we still had our vacation, but it just kind of stunk because that happened. But like,
I remember when you guys came home, she did look, holy cow, I've never really seen anything like that. I mean, her face was just, I mean, her entire face. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, she had a big bump on her side of her head. I mean,
right.
it was like she went to a face painting station and someone, a makeup artist, like you said, I mean, like went into the ring crazy. With Mike Tyson.
Took a while for it to,
and no mercy.
You see me, you should see the other guy. Wasn't that? Yeah, but
I remember she kind of changed shades. She was black and then purple and then green and then yellow and then finally back to normal a little bit, you know.
Yeah, it was nuts, but that really sucked because I was really looking forward to having her with us and stuff. She was a lot of fun. But that's the worst memory. Other than that, good memories. I mean, I really enjoyed our family trip. We took all you guys down to Disneyland. I mean, there were moments of that trip that were like, these ungrateful kids. But I think you guys had a great time, and it was really fun to be able to stay on property because at that point, I don't know if we'd ever stayed on property down there before. So we stayed at the Paradise Pier Hotel, and we had 2 rooms there, and it cost a lot of money, but it was fun to be able to take all you guys. And we had Hedda with us, and she had just gotten there like 2 days before, and then she jumped in the car with us, and we all went to Disneyland, and Grandma and Grandpa, Grandpa were with us on that trip. So anyways, that's a really cool memory. But every time I've gone, I mean, one memory that I have when Kurt was little, we went to Disneyland, and I remember him.
There we go.
I don't know if he was closing his eyes or what he was doing, but he grabbed on his leg, and I'm looking at him like, what is he doing? And then he looked up, and it was Captain Hook. He had grabbed onto Captain Hook's leg. I think he thought maybe it was my leg. And he looked up, and there was that big old nose, Captain Hook's nose staring down at him. He's like, what the crap? So that was pretty funny. But
Kurt kicked him in the nards and ran.
Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Yeah, right, Jacob. A punching bag going on. But I don't know.
That's funny.
But I'll tell you what, man, and the other one, first time going to Disney World, man, I tell you, that was so awesome because the weather was perfect. It was like 75 degrees out there in Florida, and at the time, I think in Grants Pass, it was like 28 degrees or something. I'm sitting in the sun in the morning hours, not in the middle of the day. No humidity because we went in February. And just sitting there going, this is so awesome. It just reminded me of days growing up, in Southern California and being at Disneyland and stuff. But the weather was just beautiful. And I'm going, this is awesome. And it's just cool to think
I can jump on a plane and in a couple hours on a plane, I can be in a completely different climate. I can escape bitter cold and in a couple hours be on a beach in the sun.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So that I really enjoyed. So I don't know. I like going because it's just fun to be there and stuff, There's stuff about what's going on with the Disney Corporation that drives me crazy, but overall, I still like going to the parks, and I still enjoy being there and having the atmosphere of the park and stuff, which I'll never get sick of that. And people go, why? You're going there again. But I just enjoy being there, It's fun to sit. I like to people watch. I love to watch people. And I mean, you've heard Katie talk about me at Disney World. I'm 20 feet behind them all the time, They're going to the ride, and I'm just lollygagging behind them, taking my time because I'm looking around at everybody.
Smelling the roses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm on
And the
vacation.
people.
You know?
Or in the moment.
So,
Mhm.
anyway.
It's funny
So
how
you guys got-
vacations kind
Huh?
of change when, just different types of. Just saying, it's funny how vacations kind of change when you're in different times of life. People will say like, "Oh, what's your favorite vacation spot?" And I say, "It depends how I've been recently up to that point, right? Because sometimes maybe things have been really slow and you want to go to a theme park and have a blast,
Right.
but sometimes you just want to sit on a beach somewhere for a week and not talk to anybody. Right. So I feel like Disneyland, and especially Disney World, I mean, I guess both, but it's a good combination of, maybe one day you just lay up by the pool.
You
maybe
can
another
sit
day
on
you go
a
ride a
beach.
bunch of rides,
You can you can sit on the beach and just read a book. You don't have to go to a park or sit by along a pool.
It's a good combination.
Yeah.
So if people are like, "Oh man, I don't know what kind of vacation I'm in the mood for," it's like, well, Florida's a good option. Go to the park on one day, go chill the next day.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, really. And lots of times, lots of people do that. They'll just go to the resort, and that's what they do. They don't go to a park. They'll maybe take 3 days. It's not like they go for 2 weeks and just sit at the resort, but they might, want to get away from the job or whatnot and just chill out and relax, So there is that. Totally. Right, Kurt?
Yeah.
Yes, Dad. That is correct.
I'll take that part out.
1872, 1873, 1874. My dad. Kurt and I have been, we were just talking. Kurt sent me a text yesterday. Hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp. Hey, the Jigsaw called.
They're running out of you.
They're running out of you. Oh, really? Because I heard you're their all-time bestseller.
Little Seinfeld humor there for you.
Should have said that.
I just sent you, Dad, sent you the picture I sent Jacob yesterday.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's on your cell
like
phone.
A picture.
You get it.
Yeah, you can see it. It's like when you're getting a call from Jacob Jensen or whatever. It's it's getting a call from the Jerk store.
Jerk store.
The Jerk store. Like the Jerk store is calling. They're running out of you.
They're running out of you.
But
anyways.
But yeah, I think that's it's like I said kind of at the beginning of the episode, I think it's refreshing, to talk about the Disney horror stories too, because it, like you said at the beginning, that it's it's not all sunshine, shooty.
I mean, we went to. You haven't been there yet, Jacob. We went to Ohana's, which is a great restaurant.
Yeah, you gotta try it.
Huh, Kurt? Kurt went there, right? Kurt, you've been there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, Stitch just cunningly comes up and picks his nose. It's great.
Anyways, but we've also been there, and it's been not so good. So it depends on what time of the day I think you hit that. But I mean, usually they have good steak, shrimp, and everything. But everything's sometimes you don't have a good experience. But hopefully the next time you will. I mean, one time we did the Aloha dinner thing, and I don't know if it was the time you were with us, Kurt. We did do it that night, but we did it one day, and I just took off. I mean, we were late. And I was all jacked up because we were late. And I'm like, God, can't we just get somewhere on time, And so basically, I was all by myself. Going, nobody was following me. And I knew where I was going. I'm like, they didn't follow me. So I beat them to the show. But they sat us right, I mean, we were late to the show. They sat us right in front at a table, man, right in front. So like, hey, I'm late. I'm here, And then
excuse me.
Yeah. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. But that night, Aaliyah, for some reason, she just had an attitude, man. So we tried to get her up. We got her up on the stage, and I think they were doing her birthday hula or something. And she just wasn't having
She
it.
just
Man.
does the finger. She's like,
She wasn't having it, man. She was like, wasn't, you know, you could tell on her face, she was like, I don't want to be happy. You know, that was a beautiful memory.
We're running late.
We were late. And then
everyone hates to be there. Why are we even here?
I mean, I enjoyed the dinner and everything, but I don't know. It's just
so that it must be hard to go as a parent and just, you know, that your kids don't understand and I just don't think they have the capacity to appreciate fully. That must be hard sometimes. I mean, you mentioned it when we all went as a big family. You were just like freaking ungrateful kids. Like,
well, because you pay a lot of money, you know, and kids don't realize the amount of money that parents have saved up for them to go and experience this stuff. They just take it for granted.
They don't have a concept of money, really.
Huh?
You know, they don't understand what $100 is. Am I? Oh, that's $100. That sounds like a lot, but it's like, but
we're talking thousands of dollars.
$10 an hour, 10 hours straight of and that's just getting into the park. That's not including, you know, the travel. That doesn't include hotel. I mean, they don't have a concept of money or anything. So
I mean, that time we went to Disneyland, that was thousands of dollars, and if we would have had to pay for food inside the park, that would have been another whole ball game, man. But yeah, I mean, kids don't understand that until they get older, and you know, and have to pay for it themselves, or you know, and then get in that situation themselves, and then they go, oh, you know. So as a parent, but you have to try to put that on the back burner, because you got to remember that they're just kids, and you want them to have fun. You don't want to go, you ungrateful kid.
Right.
You're going to stay in the room all day. Well, what purpose?
You're going to ride Thunder Mountain. You're going to like it.
Yeah. Get on that.
Okay.
This is the wildest, craziest ride in the West.
This ride costs us approximately $2.22 if we factor it out. You're going to freaking enjoy it. Shut up and enjoy it. Well, that I mean, there's so many topics that you can talk about, but that also introduces you know, when you're paying the money and you got your kids there and you want to take advantage of it, sometimes you burn yourself out because you're like, we need to have fun, and you focus so much on having fun and seeing everything that it actually is retroactive, right? And it like takes away from the experience. It's the same idea of like, you go to a buffet and you feel like, I have to get my money's worth, so you make yourself sick. Right. And it's like, well, that just kind of undid the entire experience of itself, because you're trying to make it worth it. You know,
you gotta relax and just enjoy the experience. You know, somehow.
But also try to get your money's worth. That's the hard part.
But remember, it's all about the whole experience. It's not about how many rides can I get on, per se. But it's about the whole experience. You know, and so that's not always easy for kids to do. You know. They just want to go from ride to ride to ride to ride to ride. I remember doing it. I mean, we ran, shoot, man, we knew Disneyland like the back of our hand, and we'd just run from ride to ride to ride. But even back then, when I was younger, it was a ticket book, so you had to choose which ride on this e-ticket am I going to go on. I got, two e-tickets, and I can only go on 2 e-ticket rides, so which ones am I going to pick this time? You know, so you had to make a choice, which in all reality, I don't think that's such a bad thing, my opinion, because
a lot less people.
Well, that plus it's kind of what life's like. Like, you can't do everything in life. You have to sometimes choose. I can't do everything. I can't be anywhere. I can't afford to do everything. I can do this or I can do that. And so it makes you choose and be okay with your choice. You know, so in a way, I kind of like the ticket book.
And another, I think, kind of a conundrum or something, you know, of our society is like, we have so many choices that sometimes people can't enjoy things because there's just so many choices. Like if somebody goes to Disneyland or Disney World, they feel so inclined that they have to do everything. Like I said, that it kind of undoes the experience. For example, they did a psychological study where they did jams in a grocery store, And for one grocery store, they said, we're going to have 6 choices. That's it. And then for the other grocery store, it was like 28 choices. Well, the one that had only 6 choices outsold the one that had 28 choices by like 5 or 6 times, because, you know, you're looking at all the choices and you just get so overwhelmed that you're like, well, I'm just going to go grab something else, you know?
You want to make the right choice, you know? I remember buying a baseball mitt one time and going to the store, and there's all these baseball mitts, right? I'm like, I don't know, maybe this one. But this one looks good too. But this one looks good too. Which one should I get? I probably was in there. I mean, I should have walked in there and go, oh, this is a good mitt, and been out of there in 10 minutes. But I was probably in there for 45 minutes worrying about whether I was going to get the one I really wanted or not, you know? Because there were so many choices. I think if we had less choices on some things, I think it'd be healthier for us.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, kind of to your point of the ticket book, like there was just fewer. I mean, you were just like, you can only do so many things.
Right. You have to choose.
You just understand that and you enjoy that because, but if there's so many things, you're like, and you either get overwhelmed, or if you don't go on every single thing, then it wasn't worth it. And
you didn't go on Space Mountain 5 times. You know, you had to go on Space Mountain 1 time, or the Haunted Mansion 1 time, and then you could ride. And then you had the A ticket, which had attractions on it. They weren't the most exciting ones, but they were the main street vehicles, and it kind of forced you to do those other things and maybe learn to appreciate them. You know?
Yeah, there you
go. So I mean, there's some value in that, I think, because I learned to enjoy just Disneyland Park for what it was. I mean, I loved that place, especially growing up and going there. We only went, you know, you're lucky if you went once a year. It wasn't like I went all the time, even though I lived real far away from it. But you learn to, you know, you look forward to it, you know, when you're able to go, and you had something to look forward to. Hey, I didn't get to ride that one ride last time, so this time I'm riding that ride. Now, if you had more money, you could always buy more tickets, but, you know, I don't know. That's just an observation I had about that kind of thing.
Time management. Disneyland teaching time management since 1964. Whatever.
Thanks, DVC guy.
You're welcome. Yeah.
But
anyway,
any other comments, Kurt?
No.
You ready to fall asleep now?
It's 11:15 p.m. over here in Utah for us.
Getting late for you guys. So, hey, it's been fun having this little discussion with you guys, and everybody stay tuned for some other stuff on the podcast. We have this our extreme Disney ride little things we're going to be doing, so look forward to those. We'll have some of those coming up, and so I hope you enjoy those little skits that we put together. And we have Kurt to thank for coming up with some scripts for those. So I mean, you know, whoever else chips in there, but so far Kurt's the one that's done it. I mean, that was my idea I've had for a long time, and I appreciate it, Kurt. Thanks for grabbing that by the reins and doing something with it. I've always wanted to do that. So whenever that's another episode that we're doing, but so look forward to that.
Yeah, we'll release this before that, I think, and then I'll be working on that because there'll be a lot of sound.
That's gonna take a little time.
Yeah.
So look forward to our first little skit's gonna be the Extreme Jungle Cruise Extreme. So coming soon to the Live and Lemon Disney podcast near you. So anyways, thanks for joining us on the podcast tonight. Jacob, Kurt.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure. The pleasure was mine.
And until next time, guys, you guys all have a great week, and treat people good out there in the world. We need that these days. And until next time, we are out of here. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Adios.